Water is life. But in Nigeria, a West African country blessed with abundant water resources, to have water around one's ancestral lands is to court disaster. What you are looking at is part of what the Ibaji people experienced as a result of the flood disaster this year, 2020. Welcome, my dearest ones, to one of the most underdeveloped and neglected local government areas in Kogi State and Nigeria at large, Ibaji local government area. A local government that is at the boundary between Kogi State and the southeastern part of Nigeria towards the Niger-Benue River, having about 60 autonomous communities and 500 hamlets, and occupying an area of 1,377 kilometers square. At the onset of this year's flood in Nigeria, a state like Kebbi was promised speedy intervention by the federal government with a visit from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. On the 23rd of September, the National Emergency Management Authority distributed relief materials to flood victims in Sururu local government area of Kebbi State. But as I speak, no one from the federal government had carried out any on-the-spot assessment of the extent of the damage done by this year's flood on the people and land of Ibaji, an agrarian land and people. At the moment, I'm here in one of the autonomous communities, and this place is called Odeke. Last year, I made a video around this location. Please watch part of it. Hello, dear. I am Wilson Arome Baba, a Catholic priest working here in Odeke town in Ibaji local government, Kogi State, Nigeria. I am here today, Sunday, the 22nd of September, and I'm here on water. This water, as you see, is not a river. This water, just as you see, the house behind me, is flood water. Originally, this is not a river. This water came here because of the flood. And that is what we have seen this year, 2019. It happened last year, 2018, and it is happening again. As the flood recedes this year, I'm here again, and the fence you saw behind me last year is what I'm standing on this year, because it has been destroyed by the flood of this year, which only started receding after more than a month of carrying out massive destructions. Look at the body of this building that was within the fence closely, and you will see someone pointing to the mark that shows the peak of the spot where the flood water swallowed the building this year. Imagine the devastation caused to lives, farms, and properties, or the discomfort caused us by animals like snakes that have been cohabiting with us ever since the flood began. For 2 consecutive years, we have been appealing to the federal government to do the needful in order for us not to experience these ugly incidents again. But unfortunately, it has happened again for the 3rd consecutive year, because it seems the agenda of the present government towards some of us living in the riverine areas is something else. While we propose 3 strategies for a permanent solution to this annual flooding problem, which are: 1. The repair of old dams and construction of new ones with a good management board. 2. A better planned periodic discharge of water from the dams during the rainy season. 3. The dredging of the Nigerian waters. The present government, on the other hand, is busy pushing forward a bill called the National Water Resource Bill that seeks to place the control and usage of all our water resources solely in the hands of the Nigerian government. Critics believe that the bill is aimed at taking the resources of a certain part of the country for the use of cattle headers. In other words, it is implementing Ruga by subterfuge. Though the bill has met stiff opposition in the National Assembly, it is still being pushed by the government. The forceful attempt to pass this bill is all the reason why it is highly suspicious. But wait a minute. Can't we all understand that at the root of all our Nigerian problems is the concentration of too much powers in the federal level, and the solution will be the decentralization of such powers? Any other solution will be tantamount to tackling the symptoms of the problem instead of the root cause. For a long time, we have been treating the symptoms of our problem. That is why we are where we are in Nigeria, a country, a so-called giant of Africa that is actually a dwarf, where we have a local government like this one called Ibaji, with no access road, no electric power supplied by the national grid, no pipe bomb water, and no good schools, just to mention a few indices of underdevelopment here. In fact, Ibaji local government cannot help itself, but depends on the federal government for most of its essential needs, which the central government has been unable to provide. The earlier this issue is addressed, the better for everyone, because as it is, our country is sitting on a ticking time bomb. Let us hear from the people themselves.
2020 is one of the consecutive 3 floods that we've experienced over the years. I call these 3 evil because compared to the normal floods which we did experience, they are the most destructive. They have destroyed the life of humans, plants and animals, and properties, both public and private. No doubt, this year's flood is the worst of all them. It can only be compared to the flood of 2012, which we had to leave for other towns to find refuge. However, we refused to leave this year because of the nasty experience we had when we left for other towns. Our properties, the little properties we took for our upkeep, we were relieved of them, and our girls molested. So we call on the government to find a lasting solution so that this year's flood will be the last. So we say, and Inyoke in our language means enough is enough.
Thank you very much. That's the reaction of the people. We have heard from them, and we please beg that anybody that has this video should share it around so it gets to the people that need to do the needful so that this evil will stop. Thank you, and God bless you.